Okay, guys, it's Teacher Anya. We're going to start our new week this week. So we're going to be talking about a big question this week. So we want to look at this together. So let's get our spotlight. So what we want to look at is our essential questions. So remember, essential means our most important question. So let's read this together, okay? How do living things change as they grow? Okay, so when something gets bigger, when it grows, how does it change? Okay, so think about how much you've changed since you were born. So when you were born, you were very small, and you could not walk, and you could not talk, and you could not understand things like language, right? You could not speak English or Chinese. So you've changed a lot as you've grown up, okay? So what we're looking for today and what we're looking at today is how do living things change as they grow, okay? So how do you think this tree would change as it grew? What would happen to this tree? Would it get bigger? Yeah, it would. Would it get taller? Yeah, definitely it would. Okay, so it would change quite a bit as it grew. And trees live a long time, and they change the whole time. Okay, so there's definitely a lot of ways that trees can change. Okay, when they get old, they fall down, and you're left with this little thing called a stump. Okay, all right, let's keep reading together. Okay, let's read. Growing tall. Okay, so we were just talking about this. Okay, so let's talk about this some more. Okay, how will this tree change? Okay, so let's look at this tree. Wow, this is a really big tree. Okay, so how does a tree change as it grows? Does it get bigger? Does it get more branches, the parts that stick out from the trunk? Does it get more branches? Yeah, it does, definitely, right? How else might it change as it grows? Do you think it might lose its leaves and then get more leaves in the springtime? Definitely, for sure, okay? So there's a lot of different ways that the tree can grow as it gets bigger, okay? All right, cool. Let's keep going. Okay, so we're going to look at some phonics first, okay? And then we're going to talk about some new words, okay? So our letter here is E. So E, okay? So like, what's this called in English? Yeah, this is egg, okay? So egg, okay? So let's say the name of each picture together. Okay, so who's that? It says his name on his shirt. So who is he? He is Ed. Ed, okay? So Ed is a boy's name in English, okay? So that's Ed. Very good, okay? What is this called in English? Let's type it out together. Okay, so what do we put a letter inside of? Okay, so this is called an envelope. An envelope, okay? So let's say this word together. Okay, so sorry, Teacher Anya is not feeling very good today, so she's really tired. So, all right, so this is called an envelope, and we put a letter inside of an envelope, okay? What is this called? Yeah, it's called an elephant, right? Good job. Nice job remembering that, okay? Excellent. Okay, and then we're going to make some sounds in the middle of the word, okay? So what is this word? This is bed, ed, so bed, okay? And then we have hen, right? Hen, muji, hen, okay? And then we have pen, pen, okay? So you can see that all of these words have the letter E or the sound inside of them, okay? So let's look again. So who is that? Yep, that's Ed. Good. What is this thing we call what do we put our letters inside of? An envelope. Good job. What's this? An elephant. Nicely done. Okay, good. What's this? B, bed. Very good. What's this? Hen. Hen. Good. What's this? Pen. Pen. Very good. Okay, we're going to read of each of these words together, okay? Ready? Ed. Nice. Pet. Nice. 10. Good. Den. A den is a cave where animals live, okay? So animals might spend the winter in their den, or they might have their babies in their den, but it's like a cave or a hole in the ground where they live, okay? So it's called their den. Okay, net. Awesome. And this last one is met. Very good. Okay, so let's read them again a little bit faster. So ed, pet, 10, den, net, and met. Okay, good job. Nicely done. Okay, words to know. Okay, so words to put in our head together. Okay. Okay, this word is very easy. It sounds like the letter R. Okay, so we say this R. Okay, so let's read together. What does this sentence say? Ted and Ed are friends. Okay, good, excellent. So Ted and Ed are friends. Okay, so R is like kind of like something is true. Okay, so Ted and Fred are friends. That's true. Okay. Okay, let's read this one together. The branches, so these are the branches, right, are bare. Okay, bare means there is nothing on them. Okay, so the branches are bare. Okay, very good. Excellent job. Nice job reading. Okay, let's look at our vocabulary. So this word, this first word, it's pretty easy to say. We'll type it out. Okay, so we pronounce this word amazing, amazing, okay? So when something is amazing, it means that it is very, very, very special or very, very unique. It's one of a kind, okay? So amazing, okay? So when we think about something like this, like the flower, this little flower turns into an orange, okay, because the bee comes and it pollinates the flower, right? And then the flower grows into the orange. So that's pretty amazing, okay? So amazing is when something is really, really, really special, okay, or unique or interesting, all right? So what are some things that you can think of that are amazing? Try to say them out loud in English. Okay, so I think this process from where a flower becomes a fruit is amazing. Okay, it's very, very, very special. Okay, so it's very easy to say this word, amazing. Okay, excellent. Okay, so let's read an example. Let's read it together, okay? To be amazing is to be surprising and wonderful, okay? So surprising and wonderful, okay? So for example, looking at our picture again, the fruit that grows on trees is amazing, okay? So it's really cool because it comes from a flower. That's really, really, really interesting, right? Okay. Okay, so let's talk about an amazing. Why are these amazing? What makes them so special? Are they very, very sweet? Yes. Are they very, very big? Yes. Are they something that we can eat that comes from a tree? Yes. So all of these things make these oranges very, very amazing and very special. Okay, so there's a bunch of different reasons that these are amazing. Okay, let's keep going. Okay. All right, our next word is really easy to say. It's content. Content. Okay, content means something that is inside of something, okay? So Oh, I think it's content, actually. Yes, okay, so sorry. All right, so we're saying this word a little bit wrong. So we're gonna back up and say it the way that we should be saying it because Teacher Anya made a mistake. Okay, so we're gonna be saying it as we should be saying it. So it's content, content, okay? So content means that you are very happy with something, okay? So when you are content, you are very happy and satisfied, okay? So when you're content with your grades, you are very happy with how you're doing in school. When you're content with your family, you really, really love your family, okay? So to be content means to be very happy and satisfied with something, okay? And it can kind of be anything, your family, your school, a whole bunch of different things, right? Okay, so let's read our teacher talk. We can actually read this part together. It's not just for teachers. When you are content, you feel happy and satisfied, okay? Satisfied means that you can't really want anything else, okay? So if we've eaten a lot of food and we don't want to eat any more food because we're full, we would say that we were very satisfied, okay? So for example, it might feel very satisfying to spend a lot of time with your family because you love them a lot, okay? So when you spend time with your family, you feel content and satisfied, okay? What does a content person look like? So let's look at this picture again. Are these people content? Yeah, they are. Why? Yeah, they're smiling. They're very, very happy. They're together, okay? So these guys are definitely content. They're very happy to be a family together and to be going for a walk in the park, okay? That's a very, very nice thing, and they are content. They're happy, okay? Okay, let's look at this next word. Okay, so develop. Develop is just another way of saying grow, okay? So we say this develop, develop. Okay, so when we develop, we grow or we change. Okay, so this little seed is going to develop, it's going to grow into a big tree. Okay, so it's going to change and get bigger and grow and turn into a tree. So it's developing. Okay, so to develop means to grow. Okay, let's read the teacher notes together. To develop is to grow. Okay, easy peasy. Okay, trees develop into big plants. That's not really true because a tree is not a plant. A tree is a tree. So a seedling, which is this very, very small thing, when it just comes from the seed, it's called a seedling. So a seedling will develop into a tree, okay? So very good, okay? All right, so let's talk about what is one way that a plant develops. How does it grow? Does it come from its seed? Yep, very good. Okay, and then where does it go from the seed? Does it uncurl its leaves? Yeah, right, it makes its leaves bigger. Does it go for the sky? Does it get taller? Yeah, because plants need light. That's how they eat, right? Okay, so they need light for photosynthesis so they can eat, okay? So yeah, so the plants change in a lot of different ways, right? All right, so let's keep going. Okay. All right, let's look at this word, okay? I'm going to write for you how to say this. Okay, so we say this word enormous. Enormous. Okay, good. Can you try to say it with me, please? Enormous. Very good. Enormous means really, really, really big, okay? Like huge, like bigger than huge. So dinosaurs, for example, were enormous, okay? Really, really big buildings are enormous, all right? Sometimes cities can be enormous. It means that they are super, super big, okay? So this is a mall. A mall is an enormous building with a lot of stores in it, okay? So a big building with stores, okay, or shops. Let's just say shops. It's a little bit easier. Whoops. Okay, so this is a mall, and it is a big building. Some would say an enormous building with shops, okay? So in China, malls are very, very popular. They're also very popular here in the United States, okay? And most malls are enormous. They are super big and have a lot of different stores, okay? Okay. Something that is enormous is very large, okay? So the mall is an enormous building with a lot of shops. So let's think of some animals that are really enormous. So what are some animals that you can think of that are really, really big? We can write them down together. Okay, I can think of one, elephant, okay? What other animals are really enormous, really big? Okay, what about a whale, right? Whales are huge. Okay, what other animals can you think of that are really big? Okay, like lion. A lion is an enormous cat. It's a huge cat, okay? Or we might think of, what else can be really enormous? What other kind of animals are really enormous? Okay, maybe giraffe. Okay, so giraffes are really huge. They have really enormous long necks, right? Okay, so there's a lot of animals that can be super enormous, really, really, really big, okay? Okay, let's keep going to our next word. Okay, this is our last word. So this word is imagine. Imagine, okay? So I'll write for you how to say it. Okay, so imagine, imagine. Imagine is to think about something in your own mind, okay? So you can imagine things that are true. Like I could imagine my future, okay? I can think about what my day will be like tomorrow, okay? So if I imagine my day, what's going to happen tomorrow? Or I can imagine things like that don't really exist in real life. So I can imagine a story or maybe a kind of animal that I just make up in my head, okay? So to imagine means to think about something that might be, okay? So it might be a real thing like our day tomorrow, or maybe our future life, or maybe what it will be like to go to college, okay? So all of those things, we can imagine what they would be like. We can think about what they could be like. So when we imagine something, we see it in our mind. Okay, so we see it in our mind. All right, so when we imagine, we see it in our mind. Real or not real, it doesn't matter. It lives up here, okay? All right, cool. All right, so I can imagine what happens at a festival. I can imagine what happens anywhere. So let's imagine, what do you think it would be like to fly in an airplane? What would that be like? Have you ever done it? Teacher Anya has flown in an airplane lots and lots and lots of times. So what would it be like? Do you think it would be very, very fast? Do you think that you would get to watch a movie? Do you think that you would get to eat very special airplane food that's very small and comes in a little box? Yep. Where do you think you would go? Can you imagine where you would go? Would you go to Thailand to see the elephants? Maybe. Or you might go to Africa, right, if you want to see a lion or a giraffe. Or maybe you'd come to the United States to see Teacher Anya. So we can imagine what our trip would be like, what it would be like to fly in an airplane, okay? So that is imagining, okay? Let's review our words together. So our last word was imagine. Very good, and that means to see something in your mind, okay? Our next word was enormous, and do you remember what enormous means? Enormous means really, really, really big, okay? So a mall is enormous. An elephant is enormous. All these things are very, very big, okay? Do you remember this word? Develop, develop, okay? And develop means to grow or to change, okay? So a seedling develops into a tree. It grows into a tree, okay? And you are developing from a kid to a grown-up very, very slowly, okay? So all things develop and grow. Okay, our next word is content. Content. And content means to be very happy and satisfied with who you are with or what you are doing. You are content, okay? You're very happy with how things are. So this family is very content to be together, okay? They're very happy to be together. Okay, and this is our last word. Do you remember what it is? Amazing. Yep, very good. Amazing. Okay, so when something is amazing, it is very special and wonderful. Okay, so we decided that oranges are amazing because they are big and round and we can eat them, and they grow on trees and they come from a flower. So they are totally amazing. Okay, so what we want to do with the rest of our lesson is review our words. So you should be writing sentences with your words. You should be trying to use your words when you are speaking with your family tonight, okay? Because we're going to use these words in the rest of this week's lesson. So you want to get them into your brain, okay? So you don't need to imagine how to say them. You know how to say them, okay? So you need to practice these words. And I'll see you next time for our next lesson, and we're going to do some reading together, okay? And it should be super, super, super fun, okay? So there's lots that we can do together. So Teacher Anya will see you next time, and you did a very, very good job today with our lesson, okay? I'm very proud of you. Awesome, awesome job. All right, so see you next time, okay? Bye-bye. 再见.